So yeah, this is our little settlement. Most of the purpose of this game is the grind, the crafting, getting your skills up. So we have here's the character sheet. You're gonna see me equip my stuff now. No, what happened? Where is it going? Oh, it's going into the bank. No, it's not going into the bank. Weird. That was my cart. Okay, come on. There we go. Equipping everything. So now I'm in full plate. Yes. Okay. So there is 3 different types of armors. So there's cloth, which gives crafting and building speed. There's leather, which gives movement and gathering speed. And so each has its own benefits to what they do. So if you sit... Why did that... There we go. So if you sit in like a base and you just want to craft, I suggest wearing cloth gear. Or if you're out and about, the gathering is like leather. It's still really good. You can't fight like big mobs like alpha jackals, but you can fight the little mobs like just regular jackals. So yeah, this is simple equipment screen. What you saw with me crafting is what you have to do, or you can ask someone to help you with crafting. Professions is where the meat of this game is. If you've ever heard that phrase, the meat and potatoes, this is the meat. So each one of these has a different, obviously, job that it does. So as you do the thing, it levels up. Kind of like RuneScape and Albion Online, stuff like that. That's what I keep hearing is like compared to. I also think it's very PAX Day-ish. But yeah, the grind, it gets very grindy. Very, 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 very grindy. I'm just kind of hitting into that plateau of it with like 40s. 40s, I'm starting to kind of feel the creep happening just a tiny bit. But the soft cap, and soft cap means there's technically like no hard cap for this, is 100, and that's where the achievements stop. So once you hit 100, excuse me, the game can still let you progress over that, from what I've heard. Getting to 100 is probably going to take like a year. It's going to take a long time. So if this is the meat, these are the potatoes. This is the... It should be the opposite way around. These should be skills. This should be professions. Mainly because... let's go over here. Come on. Giant window is hard to navigate. Okay. So these guys that you can see here and here are NPCs. We can interact with them. We can trade stuff. Not necessarily random items, but they have a specific amount of things to trade. The cargo ship, which is freaking amazing. Yeah, I want the cargo ship. So it's like a reputation system. So when you have quests, here, he has quests, and it gives you experience in that said profession. Said skill. And then, that doesn't do anything yet. But yeah. I keep pressing this button hoping it's going to do something, but it just keeps saying coming soon. So yeah, you have different NPCs. They do different things. So like Roomba is general. He's merchanting. So it's like a general thing. He gives you your banks. He gives you just kind of like the inventory kind of stuff. Svim gives you sailing, so your boats, and he usually requires like fishing stuff. Like you see here, there's two things of fish. Heimlich, which is cooking. The names are very clever, by the way. So cooking, you can also, this is one of 2 skills that, because construction does too. Ignore what I just said for like 2 seconds. So Heimlich does cooking. You can actually go to a cooking bench, which is a cooking station here, and it will help level this. So he has stuff via like buffs that you can have permanently on your character. Bricko, he reminds me, if you've ever seen Spirited Away, he reminds me of the boiler room guy. He's multiple arms and he's doing stuff. So this construction, this is what you use to build all of the decorative kind of stuff. Not the benches, but like the decorative stuff. And then terraforming. He sells the carts and the wagons, which is right there. So carts and wagons. A lot of like the on-land transportation systems. You have Elise, which is taming. And in an hour, I will get taming level 20 and I will get a mount. Mounts in this game, they just increased the speed in which they go. Because it used to be that they were kind of the same as sprinting, you just wouldn't use stamina. Everything uses stamina, and it has a constant hunger tick, so you unfortunately can't like completely AFK in this game. Your character will start to take damage and die. But previously with mounts, it wouldn't deplete stamina. Even now it doesn't deplete stamina, they're just a bit faster. So that's Elise. Then we have Rampart, which is the creature killing, but very specifically jackals and hostile mobs. So passive mobs is part of hunting, and then aggressive mobs or hostile mobs is part of Slayer. Do you drop items on death or lose experience? No, we do not. So you just get concussed, and you get a little debuff for 30 minutes, unless you go to a town, and you can it like quickly depletes while you're in a town. But yeah, you just get concussed. You can stand back up. You just have a debuff on you for 30 minutes. So it's really like cozy in that way. You don't have to worry about like, oh no, I have to go run and get my stuff. You can also go back to town. So if you like die and like, oh well, I don't feel like standing back up because I'm not going to be able to like defeat this mob and I'm going to be caught in a death loop, you can just go back to town too. Waystones, so you can teleport. The map is huge. If you like, don't mind all of the random icons or the lines for now. Don't worry about it. So one of the things, nope, don't click on the map. That is, if you click on the map, it makes your character walk. Okay, there we go. Now we're good. You have to use the middle mouse button and hold it down and like move it this way. Okay, so this is where we are at. We are kind of like the Japan of this continent right now. So Hearthrest and then the Hearth, that's my little settlement. These are also settlements, they're kingdoms. These that have the little crown banner on them are capitals of the empires. So there's a lot of capitals of empires here. All the borders are empires. It is cosmetic. It really does nothing to the gameplay. It just is something to say, hey, I want my name on the map. And the emperor or empress of the empire gets a little crown on their head and people get little capes. It's cute. But this is a starting town. The thing that has... there we go. This particular symbol, it's everywhere on the map. Each continent, or each region rather, has like 3, I think. Is your settlement recruiting people? We are. We have an ad break in 3 minutes, and I can't unfortunately snooze it right now. So once the ad break starts, I'll pause and then I can explain when the ad is over. But yeah, we are recruiting. We are a very like new player friendly settlement. You can choose to recruit for this, or not recruit. Sorry, resource grind for the settlement if you want, or just do your own thing. Either one's required. You can technically play solo and go to any place in the map, any place in the world, and use their workbenches and their stations. You just can't use their chests. So it's very solo player friendly in that regard. But the map is huge. So we're in region 3. Mad Dog, hello. We're in region 3, which is the very bottom here. And it's a numpad. So if you look down and you see a numpad, it's 3, and then 2, and then region 1. And then if I go north, it's region 4. I can't scroll out any more than this, unfortunately. Region 5, region 6, region 9. They're huge. Region 8 we're coming up on now. This is a huge map. And then region 7. So yeah. The map is huge. I think going and traveling, I want to do it at some point. I want to travel to like the bottom of the world here, like where I can actually travel and go across the map and see how long it takes. But traveling like down to here took, I think, about 40 minutes, I think. I was a passenger for that, so I'm not entirely sure. Hello again. Okay, I need to get rid of this from the wagon. Also, if you have, so the wagons themselves, they go very slow, but they hold a lot of cargo, and there's 2 types of cargo, or 2 types of items in this game. Ones that take this cargo slot, which is like a backpack that you carry, and then the other ones are like normal items. So you can only have so many items, and like they stack very small. But you can use your wagons to grab stuff. There's also these personal caches, which you can drop stuff off in. Which at that point, need to withdraw a call. Yes. And then close that. It's a little finicky. Store all. There we go. So boring. Yeah, Mad Dog, I know. You want war. Okay. So now that that's done, I'm gonna put my wagon away. So, collect wagon to vault. Your vault is where... yeah. Sorry. I forgot that I left off on the map, and I just, like, went in a different... I don't want more. I need more. I will circle back around to that in just one sec after I explain the vault. You can change your cosmetics at any point. You can change what you look like. I have a little cat mask on. It's a cosmetic item that you can get titles, beginner, carpenter, farmer, stuff like that. It all sits in here. You can even get the owl pet, different outfits. Once you hit a certain rank in that craft, then you get different outfits. I'm currently trying to get level 40 in Scholar to get the Scholar outfit. So I put away my wagon. There's deplorables, so raft, advanced cart. This moves a little faster. It has less cargo slots, so like the big slots, but a lot more of the little slots. So you can hold a lot more items. Expanded personal cache. Wait, did I not? Oh, okay. It's grayed out because it's already down. So you put that down. The skiff, which is just a smaller boat, it goes faster. It's like twice as fast as the raft is. The raft is kind of slow. And then the improved wagon, which has the large cargo. Pets, the owl. And then this is the premium currency. You can buy either through them, or if you find streamers that have the 100 bits like done. This is only for cosmetics and empires. There is no like pay to win at all. It's only cosmetic or empires, which, like I said earlier, empires are cosmetics. So with that in mind, we will go back to the map. Any place that has, you're at 50k or 15k shards. Nice. Once you guys hit empire, then you'll be set. These starting towns, so these guys are player-made towns. There are a few starting towns in each area. So we have Ash Glen, which is a starting town, Hearthrust, which is a starting town, Brayfall, which is a starting town, and they have like that particular icon. You will start off at one random location anywhere on the map. So if, say, you started, okay, I picked a random region. I don't know which region we ended up in, but let's say you ended up here in Stonewake. What you could do is, once you are in game and you've gone through a little bit of the tutorial, you would click on what this building is. Wrong one. This, as I'm running into my benches. I'm not used to having this close-up of a run. So waystone. Each beginner town has a waystone, and if you choose to have a waystone in your town, you can have a waystone in your town as well. And then you can click here, and this is your travel points. Is there an easy way to change a complete set of armor, or does it need to be one by one? It needs to be one by one, unfortunately, and it has to be in your inventory. You can't just equip it from your vault. If you do that, it's just it's a transmog. It's cosmetic at that point. Which there's no easy and quick way, and I hope they do that in the future. I hope they make a very easy equipment swap function. But for now, we have to do it via the inventory. So these are different waypoints. I wish it would tell you if it was a town, like a starting town or not. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell you. It just tells you it's a town itself. I wanted to go to Emberdeep, but all the good spots were taken. So what you see here on the side, each of the hexes. So when you look here on the floor, those hexes. So Port Jackal is 172 hexes away. It's actually to the north of us, and it'll cost 3 of travel points to go there. And then you can look where it is on the map. So you get travel points, and they take a while to actually refresh. It's 1.39 an hour. So they don't really come back that often. Apparently there's an item in the game, Traveler's Fruit. I was still trying to figure out where it comes from. I assume it's the rolled trees, but it replenishes 20 teleport points when you eat it or consume it. So I saw a couple in the auction house earlier, and they were like 1,000 gold. Yeah, expensive. So this is a player-made town. This is the starting town. So what you would do is you would find a place that you want to be on the map. So like say we started in that other location. We would go down. There's a lot here. So you can see it's read out because I would not have enough. Traveler's Fruit. Yep. I need to know where it's from though. So yeah, let's say we're in a red zone. I think we were in like Stonewake or something. You start out with 100, and it would cost a little too much to do it right now. It also depends on how much inventory you have. If you have a full inventory, it's going to cost way more. If you have nothing in your inventory, it's going to cost a bit less. So in this case, I have 87. I look down here. I have 77. Maybe I could get rid of the stuff in my inventory and make that teleport, but then I'm not going to be able to teleport after that, because I will have depleted my entire resource. From there, what ends up happening is you're in that region. You can set your home place to that region at that point, and you're in now a different region. Or if you're trying to get somewhere like up, I guess that would be. So if you're trying to get somewhere that you can't, you can do like a hop, skip kind of situation where you can like go to a starting town, try and get as far as you can, and like hit another starting town, like, and just kind of like hop. Yeah, I think you understand what I'm saying. To skip over the map, but yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that needs to be covered for the teleporting. Oh, you have to go to the town. So player-made towns, they get to choose if they have a waystone or not. And if they do have a waystone, you have to go to the town first. It's kind of like in MMOs how you have flight points. You have to go to the town first to unlock the waystone, and then you can teleport whenever. So, yeah. So like Port Jackal above us, I had to walk up there. I boated up there. I clicked on their waystone. I got the teleport, and then I can do it from wherever in the world. So yeah, it's super easy. If you have multiple people starting the game, if you have, I just like being kind of like seeing what's going on. You can have multiple people start on opposite ends of the map and still find your way to each other. When you upgrade the stations, do you have to remove the lower tier or not? It's up to you. It does not replace it. So when we started upgrading these, we had the simple table still sitting here, and then the sturdy table was a separate table. They didn't just upgrade the same table. So if you want to keep the lower tier table as like an extra craft station because you want to switch between 2 crafts, you can do that. Or you can just do what we did and destroy the previous station and then put the new upgraded station in, because they are backwards compatible. The other thing, we kept our simple processors, producers, processors, whichever word you would like to use, and then just added one of the next tier. So, because you need level 1 stuff processed at all times, even at level 3 or level 4. So it's good. As we get more, we're going to like slide them down till eventually we'll have all max level benches. But yeah, hopefully that answered that question, Mad Dog. So yeah, this is our town. Banks. Oh, that's very important. So banks in this game are individual. It does not have like a global, your bank goes everywhere. It is per town, per city. So if you start somewhere and you're like, oh, I'm going to put stuff in the bank, and then you travel somewhere, it's not going to be in your bank. It's going to be in that town's bank that you put it in, which is very, very clever and very nice, because then you can have infinite storage. Just go to another town and use their bank. And you don't have to be part of the settlement to use the bank. You can just do any. So these are, this is what the game normally looks like. It doesn't have all the fancy titles on things, so this is normally what the game looks like. It's currently nighttime. More jackals and hostile mobs come out at night, so campfires are what keep them away. So it's always good to have fires set up, especially like on your entrances, because they don't go through fences, and they don't attack your structures either. So if you hit U, that's where you can see the names of things. I always have U on because I like seeing if something's currently being crafted or if something's complete. It'll show up saying like sturdy smithing station completed, stuff like that. But yeah, you can choose. I have nothing running right now, so I can turn it off, and I can turn it back on whenever. So yeah. Do the little campfires work like the big ones? The radius of it's radius dependent. Oh, thank you. So the small ones, you'd have to put way more down. I think the radius is like 3 or 4 around it, and this one's like way more. Can I do the... Is it Shift Alt 4? Or Shift 4? Yeah, there we go. Gone, thank you very much for that follow and welcome in. They won't target you if you're protected by a light source. You currently can see... Yep, I was literally just about to do that. That's it. There you go. Thank you very much. So... Yeah, you can see these are the light sources for those fires, and that's the light source for the bonfire. The bonfire is definitely a tier up. I think it's tier 2, and these are obviously tier 1, and well, not, I guess not obviously, because you wouldn't necessarily. So I apologize for saying obviously, but they are tier 1, and so you can craft them from the get-go. We had originally, when we started our base, tier 3 braziers, radius of 15. Okay. So, yeah. It's just dependent. We have it only on the outskirts because we have a fence all the way around our town. So, we only really need it in the locations in which they would possibly get in. But yeah. Anyone can join any settlement. You can be part of multiple settlements, but you can only be part of one empire. You can also have multiple settlements, so if you want to have one, say, in the south of the map, and then another one all the way in the north of the map, you can. It is rather time-consuming. Yeah, I think so, unless you left it. L. Yeah, there you are. You're still in there. Yep. This is the settlement menu. There's not much to it. It's very simple. This is the big thing that we have to worry about, is supplies. And you see, as I can run to it. So I hit L to open this, or I could right click on this. Either one. So I'm going to hit you for a second. This is our claim, essentially. This is the structure that makes it that we have this land claimed. I'd have to destroy the town to pick it up. So it's be very careful where you would place it. If you have nothing built, then you can pick up, drop it as many times as you want. But if you have stuff built, I would not recommend it. So be very careful where you put down your settlement to begin with. Members, you can have members join. The shield is like admin or moderator or officer type situation. They can add no, they can't add people. Only the person in charge can add people, which I don't think is very good. There's going to be more permissions, I'm sure, being added later. And then the little box with the arrow is storage, so you can access the chests that are in the town. And then the hammer is building rights. So a lot of people don't really have building rights. One sec. Excuse me. A lot of people don't really have building rights. These can still use the crafting tables. It just means that they can't pick stuff up and move it. Which at this point is kind of good because you could accidentally move something or you could accidentally destroy something, and we don't want that to happen. Research. As you level up your town or create more for your town, you get unlocks. So you would have to make, right now, if we wanted to get to tier 4, we're currently tier 3, we would have to make 10 of these codexes. And then we would research it, which takes 12 hours. And then it goes to the next tier. But it takes a lot. So 9,000 supplies, we have almost 8,000 supplies. And it takes a lot of materials to get those codexes. So starting a settlement isn't necessarily an easy process. We did it in the course of like 6 hours, I want to say. It is easily soloable if you want, or you can just join someone else's settlement too. More so research, since then it's a fresh totem, then you can plop it down. Yeah. If you've researched up to tier 3, it goes back to 0. Yes, indeed it does. They decay if there's no claim, but you can plop it down again and it's all yours. Yeah. This has to be one... Really? This has to be one of the most comprehensive descriptions I've seen for the game on a stream. Wow. I've explained this a lot, and I'm perfecting it as I'm going. So I might just end up clipping this and then putting it on YouTube and be like, here's a tutorial at this point. So yeah. The tiers is what determines what you can put in your base. So tier 1 crafting stations, tier 2 crafting stations, tier 4. So we were on tier 2, we could only put down tier 2 crafting stations. Now that we're at tier 3, which is the sturdy crafting stations, you can put down tier 3. So that goes all the way up to tier 10. To unlock all of this is probably going to take a very long time. Months, years, possibly, who knows. But it's going to take a very long time. Next week. The treasury. So this is one of the things that, as you see, the number is slowly going up based on who's using the work, or not who's we're using, but how many people and how often the workstation is being used. You get money per use. So we have Cal currently and Pat currently working, and it's going to slowly go up. So the more people that are in your town using your workstations, the more money your treasury gets. And with that, you can buy stuff for your town, like the town banks, NPCs. The NPCs cost a little bit. They're 2,500 per NPC, so they're a little expensive. And that's what we use the money for. We're going to use it again to make more town banks, and then if we need materials for the next tier of things, then we can use that to do that. You can also, if your supplies are running low, buy supplies when below, and you would set this to whatever number, so like 10% of this number, whatever you choose. You can then pay players to drop off supplies. And that was back on the first screen. The cargo supplies are the things that were in the bigger square, those little backpacks. And so you would just open your inventory, and it's not going to really do anything, but I'm dragging this item, and you would just drop it here. So you see how that changes? You would just drop it there. And then it would submit how many items or how many I think it's is it supply points? I think it's supply points. Does it show? If I go to swim, traveler tasks. Yeah, okay, so supply pack, it says 100 supplies. So as you do more supply packs, different supplies, but it adds that to your settlement. So, as it, thankfully, they've changed it. It used to be like something absurd, like 40 or 50 supplies per hour. At one point, we were only at like 3 days. Now we're at 54 days. There. So 54 days, which is a little bit more reasonable than having to keep feeding it constantly. But we were prepared to. If it was push comes to shove and it changes, we are prepared to. So that's what this is. This is the supplies per hour. That changes based on your size. And we were currently, I think you start off at like 2. So we've upgraded, based on our research, we have upgraded twice. So we have 3,000 tiles. This is, oh wait, I can actually do it even further. If I go here, screenshot mode, you can scroll out a little bit further. I need to, wait, come on. Nope. There we go. I was trying to maneuver it so I could see exactly. So this is 3,000. Yeah, that is the intended rate. This is to help people get stuff going. So this is 3,000. We started originally kind of like in this area. So that was like 2,000. And you start off with a decent size, enough that you can actually like put stuff down. So you don't have to worry about being crammed for space unless you are trying to put like 18 different processors down. We're looking at doing 4 processors each. We currently have 3 each. So it just depends on how efficient you would like your settlement to be, because each one that you use has only 10 projects. So if I click here and I add 10 items, that is done. You personally can't add more, but someone else could. So you have 64 processes. Yes, higher tier resources. So if we go here, I don't have one now. I used to have a piece of wood here. Compendium is also very important, which I'll get to next. Use simple timber. Here we go. So this is tier 2, and this is 130, where the base one was only 100. I have 8 total hits since tier 4 takes an hour to. Yeah. So as it tiers up, the more supplies you can get. There's also some that the supplies are actually like a lot more for, depending on how many times you have to craft something. Like, so if you go with bricks, it tends to be a bit more because you've gone through more steps to do that. Is there tier 2 trees outside camp? Yes. They are the birch ones. So if you look for the white and black ones, that's the tier 2. We also have tier 3, which are fallen, like they look like fallen logs. So we have all 3 like right on our words. I've been talking so much. We have it all on the island. So we're going to jump right from settlement really quick to this while I have it open. This compendium is one of the most important things in this game. It shows you everything that you've interacted with. So I picked up, also it's a item to recipe based system. So you have to pick up the item to learn the recipe. The recipes aren't just going to unlock, or you don't have to like train it. It would be like you pick up flour, now you can do pigment. You picked up a stone, now you can do ingots, like stuff like that. So this is based on what you've interacted with. And so what the compendium is used for usually is to see what the craft is, see how much it is, go from there. The other thing that is really useful is if you hit resources. This is resources that you've already clicked on, you've interacted with, and you can go scroll down. Let's see what's something that might be. If you look at the mini map, let's go here and hit track. It puts that dot on the mini map. So you can actually track items that you have touched before. It will not track items that you have not touched. So I do highly advise touching everything. That you can, at least, because different tiers, obviously. So yeah, the tracking system is really, really, really nice. Structures, this shows you what you can build. It is also a different menu. Your collection, so this is your vault. Your progress, which is coming soon. Knowledge, and these are just little tidbits of like what stuff is. Cargo, oh here, that's what I should have done. So cargo, rough timber is 100 supplies. If we scroll down, tier 2, 130. Tier 3 is 340. So you can see that it jumps up. Creatures, I've interacted with these guys so far. The drone nearly killed me. There are different types of mobs that hurt really badly. So like the alpha jackal hurts extremely badly compared to the regular jackal. Something to keep in mind. These are hostile mobs. These you'll see are, if it says huntable, they are passive mobs. It says monster, it's aggressive. So this says monster, it will come after you.
I read somewhere that all monsters say tier 1 right now, even if they're not.
Oh, well, that says, oh, all monsters say tier 1. Oh, okay.
I could be wrong, but I thought I just read that.
Okay. That would make sense. If all monsters have tier 1, I'll have to go...
Even though they're not.
I don't think the drone should be tier 1. I think it was in a higher level zone. So...
The big owl bears
don't...
and it said tier 1.
Yeah. Oh. The bears are tier... Okay. So right now it is currently borked. So that is something to keep in mind. It is not an easy monster, even though it says tier 1. But yeah. So this is super important to interact with. It gives you all of your recipes and stuff like that. The other thing that is also super important is achievements. And the only reason for this is so that you can see what items you still need to do what. Also, it gives you kind of like... Oh, that's not right. So it gives you your achievements per profession. Or sorry. Per skill. Profession. Yes. I keep getting them confused because in my head I want to call it a skill, but it's not a skill, it's a profession. So each one of these different achievements. So at level 40 you get outfits, which is so cute. This shows you what you have to interact with. It's kind of like your guide to unlocking recipes as well. If you follow this, it will give you usually the next recipe of something else. So it's very helpful to kind of be like, oh, I'm missing something. What am I missing? Why can't I unlock this? You can find it here in your achievements. What else? This doesn't show all of your achievements, by the way. So was there anything else on settlement? Treasury, recruit. Recruit's pretty simple. You can post that you're recruiting based on different member slots, and someone can just click on your settlement and join. So it's really relatively simple. Yeah. We don't have it as a recruit because I like personally to talk to people and then like introduce them to things before I just like mass recruit. And I also don't necessarily like mass recruiting because then you don't get to know the people that you're playing with. So yeah, that is settlement claim. We have character, which I showed first off. You can look at detailed stats if this is something you are interested in. It will tell you like all of your bonuses, all of your stuff. Oh no, ad break. Ad break. Okay. What's ads? I know. I like to be polite and pause so that people don't miss things. Gotta hydrate for all that talking. I I am probably just gonna clip this and put this as like a tutorial. This is like everything in one thing. 25 seconds left on ads. Boo boo boo. Waiting for ads. I like how there's so many ways to get to the vault. You can view closet, you can hit V. So many ways. Yeah. And ads should be over. Welcome back. Thank you for sitting through them. So we did pause. So made me ad free. Oh, yay. Yes. That is awesome. Okay. So as we were explaining, this is stats. If you really want to deep dive into it, you can. You can also play the game and not know anything about this. It's your choice how you want to play. So gear screen, hearts, you'll unlock this through the tutorial, and I'll explain kind of a little bit more during the tutorial. I highly suggest do not skip the tutorial. It gives you a lot of information. And it's cute. It is kind of cute. So yeah, you have gear, and then we said earlier, the professions. You have to get a tool for each profession. And as you level up, leveling up the tier requires like a new tool. So right now this says can gather, hunt, and craft up to tier 3. Even though I'm level 40, I could technically do tier 4. I would need a tier 3 item that can allow me to do tier 4. And then we said the skills earlier. These are the NPC skills. Construction, if you want to level construction, you can also terraform. You can do the quests. You can also build stuff, the decorative stuff like the fencing. Cooking, the cooking station. You can actually do the quests, you can do the cooking station, and it will level. That's usually why it's like so high right now. Merchanting, for now, I think it's only Roomba that allows you, so it's just quest-based. Sailing is also quest-based. Slayer is killing jackals and quests, and then taming is just quest-based. And the quests are every 4 hours. So there is 17 minutes until the quests reset, which I'm going to quickly go through and make sure that I did the quests that I want before that happens. Okay, I did. I'm almost to level 20, and that's what I'm trying to aim for. So that was character. That's inventory. Inventory I. Here's your money. As you get quests, this is the money that you have. Quests are only like 50 gold, or yeah, 50 gold, 100 gold. Upper quests are like 250, something like that. So gold is a little hard to come by unless you use the market. We'll get into that in a sec. So then let's close inventory. So the next button on the bottom is traveler tasks. You can see all of the NPCs. You don't have to walk up to the NPC. If you wanted to find that NPC, you can also do a target. Oh, I also have the other target. I have the other target on the minimap still, so 1 second. Resources, what was that? Was that untrack? There we go. So, if you need to find it, you can track it. Each one is labeled here. You can see what they need and how much it is and how much experience they give you. That is your gold, by the way. The top bar is how much gold you'll get from turning in that item. Next, achievements. We already explained that this is where you get more of your knowledge and your outfits. It's actually kind of cool. I like achievement hunting, but I like achievement hunting in every game. Next one. This is C. This was compendium. This is where all of your other knowledge is. And then we have the exchange. This is the premium currency. It's only used for empires and only cosmetics, so don't worry about, you do not have to buy hex shards if you don't want to. Then escape. So this is your settings. This is basic. Every game has this screen. However, this is where you get the screenshot mode, where you saw me earlier, and being able to zoom all the way out. I don't know if it has a shortcut. I don't think it has a shortcut, but you can access it this way. And you can do some like cool maneuvers with it. So like turning, and then you can do alt and change so that the character is not in the center. Yeah, it's a pretty cool feature. So then, map, we have the mini map, toggle claim borders, visuals are on, visuals are off. It'll show you see the green that showed up at the very end of there. That means that's where our settlement is. Teleport at home, it's a really easy key. You can also use the map. I usually just use the map, but that will teleport to wherever you have touched. For settlements, if you want to use... if you want to set your home, you would shift right click and then set home. Shift right clicking on a lot of things is very kind of key because there's a lot of hidden things that the game and tutorial does not tell you about. This is one of them. So I kind of learned as I went, and people being like, oh, hey, did you know you could do this? And I'd be like, oh, no, I didn't know I could do that. So that's one of them. Setting home to your settlement is pretty important. I kept setting my home to the town that was up or over to the east, and then actually like traveling. So yeah, it's much better if you can actually do the settlement home point. So then if you also, something that is important, if you shift click on food, you can eat it. You can also create food waste. It has to be an actual food. So it has to have the saturation level. And you always have to eat. So down here, I have like food buff. But here's the hunger bar. When it is empty, you will starve and take damage. It is relatively generous. So you have 100 minutes until you starve. It's kind of nice. But as you eat food, it tells you the saturation, tells you the perks that it gives you, stuff like that. So different foods do different things. This is currently a crafting and gathering food. There is a combat food. There's a movement food. There are teas that you can make that help you defeat or combat the cold or heat. There is a desert that will require you to maintain your heat. Like essentially it gives you exhaustion or like heat debuff. And so you're going to need something to combat that, or you'll take damage. Same with the cold, you would use something that warms your character up. And it's actually pretty nice. Sort button does what it says. It just sorts. That's it. Boop. Let us see what else was in the... I'm missing something because my brain was telling me that I needed to do it, and then I'm missing something. Oh, I do. I can show them. I can show combat. So this is the combat. This is a hostile mob. These are the ones that I suggest that people can fight. So yeah, he's currently stuck on a rock. He's gonna be an easy fight, unfortunately. So let's get out of here and let's give ourselves a bit more of a fight. The actions down here, you can scroll over them, see what they do. Right now it says that, as far as I can tell, you can only access this in combat. I would like to see where you could access this outside of combat. So, yeah. For right now, equip the weapon, do combat, and it's only hostile mobs. So then, loot bag. This is what a loot bag does and looks like. So, here's the item, and you can hit claim all. This says currently owned by me. This will stay owned by me for 5 minutes. After the 5 minutes, it'll then transfer to public loot for 1 hour, and then anyone can go and pick it up. Also, I will demonstrate. I'm going to take the item into this bush. I keep doing that inventory. I can drop this item, and you see how it is now inside this bush. This item is now inside this bush. It's going to be extremely hard for me to try and maneuver my way to click this item inside this bush. If you shift right click, again with the shift right clicking, you can say view dropped items. As you do that, you click it, it shows you where that pouch is, and you can claim all that way. So you don't have to harvest the bush to get to that item. It's shift right click is also your best friend. For example, if I look at this fence, I can shift right click, deconstruct, move building. So shift right clicking on everything is very important. Another feature, if you right click on something, you're going to move to it, and you're going to do whatever the action is. So harvesting, you see my character wants to go touch the bush. It wants to go touch the rock. Sometimes you just want to know what is around you, because even though I have view enabled, it does not show what the things are. So with that being the case, you can hit Q. And Q essentially allows you to mouse over stuff within your area and shows you what it is. You can do it with anything. Players, trees, plants, anything. So hitting Q is very helpful, especially if you're trying to do ocean fishing. It is very helpful to do ocean fishing. You're out and you have like a giant pond. Fish are plenty. This is like nothing compared to the oceans. See all of these fish. The oceans are filled with fish. You've been searching for that for ages? Yeah. Yes, fishing. I love fishing. Fishing is like, my go-to. So you can do Q. You can also tab target. So like it only does mobs. So it tab targeted to that guy all the way down there. And so if I wanted to, actually let's eat. As you see, I don't have a buff running, which means I'm not going to regain. I'll slowly regain. But it's not that great. And I don't want to die. So I eat food. And then it gives me my buff back. And you see my health is going up. So let's hit Q again on this tree. So this tree, I now have it targeted. I'm going to use tab, hit tab, and if I press 1, you can see that my bow has come out. If I press 1, I will start running towards the thing that I have tabbed up here. And as soon as I get into range, I'll go into combat. This is a passive mob, so usually it will just run away. If it's red, it'll attack you. If it's yellow or white, it won't. So I'm just currently, unfortunately, slaughtering this poor goat. It's also a mount, so it's a cute thing. So here we're going to discuss really quickly what it looks like to have cargo. So this is the long tiered item, or the long rectangle. Claiming all, it adds it as a backpack to my character, and it adds it to the top inventory slot. You can only have one. There are things that allow you to have multiple things, like the wagons and the carts. But personal carrying, you only get one. You also, unfortunately, move slower. So it's not great if you are in combat. I would highly suggest quickly dropping the pack. It still has 5 minutes that it's yours, and then sprinting and running away. So sprint is also your spacebar. I often forget to sprint. So I highly suggest sprinting. I don't really need this item currently, so I'm just going to bring it towards the front here and drop it off and see if someone wants it. This boat here is a skiff. It's kind of nice. It can hold multiple people. Even the raft can hold multiple people. This one, is this one mine? No. Oh, so I'm now a passenger in this boat. Whose boat is this? Oh, it doesn't tell me. Right click to get out, right click to get in. Right click to get out. Yeah, it's not letting me queue that one. So, that is that. So, again, spacebar, sprint. I often forget to sprint. Let us see. What else was there that needed to be explained? I think that was mostly it. Tab target, Q. You can do shortcuts like inventory. Oh, so you're not going to see it because I'm currently in the way, but I'm gonna not be in the way for a second and show you chat. So this is chat. Most of the time, don't listen to chat. Chat tends to be bad. So you have the function that you can click chat and it will turn into a background. You can do local chat, so you'll see it in your vicinity. System chat is all your experience stuff. Here you can hit the cog and it'll show you profanity filter, which is awesome. Small, default, large, so you can change based on what preferred size you want. Show timestamp, you can show the timestamp and it'll see when the message was sent. So show channel tag, I don't think it really does anything right now. Show in-game world bubble is also kind of broken. I've turned it off multiple times and chat still shows above the player's head. So yeah, it is kind of unfortunate. However, if you click local, it's kind of like every other MMO. You can choose what channel you want to go into or hit /say for local, /y for region, /c for claim, and /e for empire. So we'll do a local. It says local, it'll be local. We'll say hello, and it shows right above my head. So there you go. And if someone responded, sometimes the chat bugs, unfortunately, and you won't see it in the chat, but you'll see it above the player's head. So that is that button. Claim totem, that was the L button, so you can do that. And you can also just hit L. It will tell you if you can use a shortcut, so build, that's another thing. So you can use this, you can walk up to the totem, right click on the totem, also use L. Build, this is also a key feature. I'm glad I did not skip over doing this. So build brings up the build menu. So yeah, this is very in-depth. It goes by tier. These are all the workstations, and it shows you what it takes to create it. So as you unlock more tiers of materials, you will unlock more tiers of things to build. For example, this gray tile that you see here is tier 1, and then the orange tile is tier 2 stone. So if you don't find something, you can also, and I just learned this today, you can search for it. This does not look like a search bar. It does not say search, but yeah, you can search for something. I just learned that today. See? Always learning things. You can switch it by tier. Also, A to Z, depending on how you want it shuffled. And then your filter. Unacquired, acquired. So, crafting is going to be your workbenches. You can also see what the workbenches are this way. Keep in mind, I've just clicked on a few and they're still here, so I have to click off if I only want the one item. No recipes discovered yet. Storage. So we're looking at chests. These are the chests that... Excuse me. Actually. There we go. Hi again. So these are the chests that you can put down on your settlement. Decor. These are like your bonfires, your walls, your fences, stuff like that. Interior, we only have one. This is the NPC. This is Elise's hideout. So you have to enter the building to interact with that NPC. Empire, we don't have an empire currently, so unfortunately this tab is blanked. Paving, so you'd actually have to have one stone. Each one of these tiles was a single stone piece. Yes, it was a lot of stone. Yes, it took up forever. Pillar shaping, Planting, this is if you have trees, and then the claim itself. So the claim itself, you can take this, add, or subtract, and then subtract, so on and so forth. You unfortunately do have to click every single time you want to do it. You can't just drag or drop. You can't just like swipe it. You have to click on every single tile. I hope they do a little bit more of like touching that up at some point, so we'll see. We will see, because it would be nice to be able to like actually click on it and then drag it instead of having to click every single tile. But yeah, this is built. The other thing that you can do, let's go out here. It's a little wonky getting through doorways sometimes. I'm currently using right click, and it's following my mouse. So this is just right click and not using any other keys. This is just right click. You can also just click and you'll see the blue arrow and it will go to that area. I usually like kind of doing this. It helps you. Yay. Sorry, random spins. Okay, where is a piece? So someone left fiber plants on the ground. Where is a stick?
There is 400 hit points in the tier 1 monster.
We are looking for a stick. I have not found a stick over here, and there's a stick. Okay, stick. Okay. Sticks are great. So another thing that sticks can do is, if I can find it, there you go, terraforming. To do anything with the land, it requires a single stick, and you place this particular thing down. Terraforming dig site. You'd right click it, and you can move the land up and down. So right now the land is flat, and then if I wanted to go up to, say, level 30, you can only do 5 at a time, and then it would make a tower up here. We don't want more towers. We just got rid of a tower, and it took forever. So then, to get rid of the dig site, if you're all done and you've done what you want to do, you shift right click, again with the shift right click, and deconstruct. And then it gives you your stick back. So anything you deconstruct will give you the materials back, so do not worry about losing materials. We haven't tested it on the NPCs yet, so I assume it gives you the items back, but I would not risk it. Yeah. So that is for terraforming. Boop, boop, boop. Thank you for the amazing explanation for everything. Made the leap and bought the game. Oh, yay! If you do want to join our settlement, it is open. We are the Hearth, and we are directly east of Hearthrest. As the map takes a bit. In between here is actually a road. So if you find the road, it'll lead you straight to us. Usually the best way to explain is just keep heading east. So you can find that on any of the teleporters or the waystones in towns. Then, what else was there? There's Q, B, what was that? Oh, moving something. So if you have a settlement and you want to move buildings, I'm going to say it again, shift right click. Shift right click is your friend. You can move the building. Just click that, move it wherever you want. You can move it back where you want it. You can move it here. It like shows you. If you see the red, it means that you can't place it. Pretty simple. You can move everything. You do not have to deconstruct it. You can just move it. There is a range. So if I'm standing here, I can't put the oven all the way over there, but it's like within a certain radius of where you are. Oh, marketplace. So this is a very, very big feature of how to make money in this game. So I'm going to right click on the marketplace. This is this settlement's marketplace. So when interacting with marketplaces, you have to go to the town in which the item is in. I'll show you that in just a sec. So you can search the marketplace. This is what we have available in our town. If we want to sell stuff, this is the stuff in my inventory. I can click it, do the sell price, go from there. It'll then be on the market. Orders, if you want to buy stuff, sell stuff, you can look at your orders here, and that's how much money you have. Usually for orders, you can set up buy orders. So if I wanted, this is just sell order, buy order. I forget how to do the buy order. Where's the buy order? I think it's just this. Is it just? Aha, in the buy menu. So say I didn't like the price of this. I could actually set it that I only wanted to pay 50 for it. And this is the menu to do it in. So you can put up buy and sell orders. To access, this is just our towns, like I said. So there is access if you hit J. It'll show you all of the listings for the area. Or no, actually for the whole map, I think. Pretty sure it's everything. Pretty sure it's everything. It's a lot. So if you are looking for something specific, please use the search function. If not, you're going to be scrolling for quite some time. Like that's quite the scroll. It's a lot of items. But we are looking at, so this is Port Jackal. They are the town to the north of us. This is what they're selling. And so we can go to Port Jackal and buy the items using their town market. So you do unfortunately have to go to the town to get the thing from the town. And say we want to say we have basic healing potions. We could go to that town and sell them to this order for 20 gold. So you can also look that way if you want to make money and you have extra items. Go through the auction house and start seeing who's buying what, and you can just make extra money that way. Or you can just listed on there. Usually the buy, if they want to buy something, it's like much cheaper. So like basic chum, which is used for fishing, it's, yeah, they're buying it for 10 and selling it for 95. So yeah, stuff like that. So this is everything. So everywhere around us. Yep. And I think it's just the whole map, but I don't want to end up scrolling through the whole map. Sorry. If you choose to go through the whole map, feel free. We have 2 minutes, or actually 3 minutes until ads again. Wow. Have I really been explaining this for a half hour? That's quite a bit. Is there anything else? Crafting tables, I already explained, you can only start one project. Oh, right. So if you go into your vault and something has a little star, you can change what the star is. Set as default. Set as default. Set as default. Set as default. There's also another button there that I'll explain in a second. If you hit Shift V, I didn't click on that, but I can now deploy whatever has the star. And to put it away, our favorite friend, Shift, right click, and then collect to vault. And it goes back into the vault. Or Shift V again. And then, a lot of times for upgrading your stuff, you will have to convert something back into the deed form. This is where you do it. You come back to vault, you right click on it, and you do convert to deed. Let's do my cart, just in case. So convert to deed is now an item in my inventory and it can be traded. So for upgrading stuff, you will need to do the turn to deed and then go to the NPC, have the material that they require, put the two together, and you would get a deed back, and then you can add to vault, drop, open compendium, and find trades. Just left click, and it goes back to your vault. So yeah, there is that. I think, is my skiff out? I can't tell. If you look at the icons on the top, this is my personal cache. I did not have my wagon out, and it does not look like my skiff is out anymore. So let's do that. Let's go to V, deploy. We drag, click, and then drag it to wherever you want. So this is me deploying my skiff. There you go. So right click, get in. It shows 1 of 3 passengers. And then I can go sail around the waters. This is much faster than the raft. And it's also very useful for ocean fishing. It's like, you can use the raft for ocean fishing. However, if you shift right click, you can view the storage. This has storage in it, and you can add items. Of course, with ocean fishing, it's a cargo, and so you'll use these 4 items. So yeah. Any questions, comments, concerns, anything I have not covered that you would like me to possibly cover? I think I did most of the game at this point. I'm pretty sure I did most of the game. I always misclick a lot of things. It's very easy to misclick, so. But yeah. You've covered basically everything I can think of. Excellent demo. You are most welcome. I'm going to clip this and put it on YouTube. So if there is something that you have forgotten during this time, I will clip this. I will put it as a video, and that way it's accessible. It only took, what, a half hour? Half hour explanation. So yeah. Yep. I always forget to shift. Always forget to shift. So yeah. Well. And welcome back home. So yeah. This game, like, is super cozy. Like, this entire time, yeah, I was talking with you guys and doing stuff like that, but people were just saying crafting. You can just end up crafting yourself, watch something else, play another game, whatever you like. I think, yes, so it hit the 4-hour mark, the quest reset, so new quests have shown up. Because I'm level 20, I'm now into tier 2 quests for this. Sometimes, like, Heimlich is still tier 1 stuff, even though I'm 28. So different NPCs have different rates in which it goes to the next tier. Swim is pretty easy. This right now, him and Elise are the ones that I'm focusing on. To get the big boat, you need swim at level 50, which is going to take a bit. Now we go here, do that. Collect. So I can only carry one at a time. So we have the cargo. This is something that's craftable at settlements, and it just holds cargo. And so we have the fish next to him, so it's easy to drag and drop. Then we'll go back. We'll find Elise and see what she needs. And shift again because it auto defaults to walking. Do I have? I do. So 1, 2, 3. 200 ember grain. If you want to split something, that's also something I did not mention. Right click it and split stack. You can use the slider, or you can highlight and then type the number you want and then hit split. It does show up in the inventory that it was in, so if your bank is completely full, you will not be able to split stacks. You would have to transfer it and then split it wherever you would be transferring it to. So I always like to keep one spot open no matter what, so that I can split stuff from the bank. Now we need bulbs. Okay, we can do that really quick. This is a farming thing. So I have the bulbs. I have to go to the farming station now. Farming station. And join Pat at the farming station. So basic star bulbs. It gives you a rough range between how many you're going to get. You're guaranteed the 40. You are not guaranteed the 120. So sometimes you can get like 80. Sometimes you get 50. Sometimes you can just get 40. And then this item at the very, very, very end, I like to refer to as crap oil, not crop oil, because it's very crappy to get. It is a very, very, it should be a legendary item in the game, not uncommon. It takes a lot to get. And yeah, trying to get one for something is very difficult, especially seeing that you have to farm it. You have to get fertilizer. Then you have to get the seeds. You have to put it into the farm, which usually takes 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes 5, depending on the tier, sometimes 30, depending on the tier. And then once you get the product, what I'm doing right now, as you see, is I'm taking the product. This would have been straight from the farm. So I would have, right now, have gone, picked it up from these farm plots. I'm hiccuping. I've been talking too much. I would pick it up from here. I'd immediately go to the farming table. This is the product I would get from the farm directly. And then if I hit craft, it takes the item away, or rather slices it up into seeds, the actual item, which can be used for cooking, and then hopefully crop oil. Crop oil is actually used in crafting for the refinements. You need it for refining stuff. So let's open up C. We want, I guess it's just items. Yeah, we'll go to items. And then scroll. We're going to click on this. We're going to use and find where the refinement one is. Refined, what? Wow. Okay. Sure. Actually, I can just do this. I always forget search functions are a thing. Okay, so refined, obtain. You'll need refined of the previous tier. So tier 1 to make into the tier 2. So solvent use, you get that. Let's go back here. Click on that. Obtain. Refinement. Obtain. You get the picture. Eventually, it gets to the point where you have to turn it into pages. It's like it's a tiered craft system. So spreadsheets are your best friend. There's guides online. There's websites online that show you. It's part of one of these that you need the oil. Something. It's thankfully very rare. It's not a common craft item, so it's only used for like very specific things. I guess I could have also just done here. Welcome to what I should have done this entire time, and gone right there and then clicked it. Okay. Hit use. And then you'll see the uses basic wood polish. Requires crop oil. So it's only like one thing. But it requires to do the whole farming process. Same thing. Basic wood polish. And same thing. Basic wood polish. At least that's the only recipe currently. I should have done that from the start. Way to go, cat. Way to go. But basically, the refined mats are used for settlement upgrades. Is that right? Yes, and crafting tables. So when we crafted these tables, it required the refined version of stuff, and then like tier 3 materials. So, yep. I think that is... Oh, I'll also explain really quick the difference in items. So some of these items have like this indigo background. They are untiered. So if something has an indigo background, it just doesn't have a tier. All of the Slayer stuff, so your mob drops, don't have a tier to them. It's just that item. So when it asks for an item of, say, jackal fur, it just no tier whatsoever. So this is tier 1 stuff. As you can see, there has like rare. It has a blue border. Do I have common? Thought I had an uncommon thing. Maybe not. The border will be a little different based on the rarity. There are some that like purple, which is epic. Do I have one? No. Okay. So this is here. I should have shown this. So tier 1 is just the gray background, blue-gray background. Tier 2 is this like orange, and then tier 3 is green. So you can at a glance see it. I apologize for anyone who is colorblind. I think there is a mode for colorblind. It was discussed on one of the dev streams at one point. So, yeah. Rocks and items tend to be the same color as their tier. Oh yeah, so yeah. Tier 3 tiles are green. Okay. So water bucket, it has no tier. Yeah. Let's see. If I hit Q, there. So this says it's tier 2, and the background is the same color as the tier 2. So it's also easy to see. Yep. Boop boop. What was I doing now? This happens a lot. Oh, I was farming because I need the stuff for Elise. There we go. Also, I can do this. I can do this. There is a way to figure out your calculations for your crafting items. So we will do this. Properties. Calculator. Okay. So there is a way to do it. Why is that not showing up? Aha! So now you can see my calculator. So when you have these numbers down here, I can be corrected on the terminology. There are terms for this, but 4,000 is how much effort it takes. The 11 is the amount of damage you'll do per tick. So you have 4,000, you would divide it by 11, which means it will take 363 point repeating ticks to defeat this item. However, it is how many seconds per tick, so then you would do times 1.6, hit equals, so it would be 581 minutes. Seconds, sorry. Yeah, sorry, seconds. That would have been terrifying for, there are 30-minute crafts, but this is 581 seconds, so then you would divide it by 60 to make it into minutes, and you would be 9.7 minutes. for this craft. It'd be nice if there was a little timer on it, but you can do it this way. If you have something and you're like, oh, I wonder how long it's going to be, you can use that formula. So, yeah, very, very, very useful. So, I got to pull out my calculator.
It's important to know how long you can poop for.
Pretty much. Or that, Floof. Or that. It's true. But yeah, I think that literally is everything. I think that is literally everything. The only thing that I can't cover is Empire stuff. So, unfortunate. Not yet. At least at some point. Why did I move? Come on. No. Go back to crafting. Oh, also stuff stays. So even if you walk away, it's paused. So you don't have to worry about it. The only time it is a problem is if someone destroys the bench, your stuff is gone. And you can just choose to end the thing, so cancel craft as well. So we don't currently have one. We need to build one. But during the tutorial, they will take you to an item called a lost item box. And if this table does get destroyed and my items are in the table, if I go to a lost item box, the stuff that was destroyed would be in that box. So the game is very, very nice and casual in that way that you're not gonna, your efforts are not going to be wasted. You're gonna keep all of your items unless you drop them on the floor, which is a thing that happens if you do not have room in your inventory, you don't have a cart near you, you don't have a cache near you, you will have a bag on the floor that shows up. Some people end up not having U selected, and they don't know that they dropped a bag. If you're in starting towns, I call it Trash Panda, because I will go survey what bags are on the floor, and sometimes you can find some really good goodies. Some tier 2 stuff, weapon upgrades, random things that people just think are junk. But because I have U enabled, I can see that they're just an item on the ground. So, yeah, I think there was still the, oh, maybe it disappeared already. There was an item somewhere, a bag somewhere. It would show up and say, like, what the item was that was in the bag. So, yeah. I personally call it trash pandaing, and being a trash panda for a moment, but, yeah. I found a codex and 9 wood research on the ground once. Craziness. That, yeah. Wow. That is definitely impressive. Definitely impressive. I wonder if they just didn't have room, or they thought someone was going to trade it and they didn't know how the trade function works. Oh, that is a good one. Are you busy? Oh, you're gone. Is
towards the front of the fence.
There he is. So trading. Yeah. He is. Are you okay? Do you need some help? I can hit Q. I could also like right click on him, but I like doing Q a bit more. So we'll go up to his portrait. We will right click. Don't really worry about this. It's currently bugged, but we're looking for this. We're looking for the trade icon. So it trades, and the window will hopefully pop up. There we go. So this is the trade window that will pop up. There is only a limited amount of slots and 1 cargo slot. So keep that in mind if you're trading something. It could take a while if there's a lot of items. Then this is him trying to trade request with me. It'll pop up in the top of your screen. You can hit accept or deny. We'll accept again. And this is the window that pops up again. So that is trading to someone or getting traded to. So yeah. Enjoy being stuck in the wall. Okay. So yeah. You can drop things on the item. Or drop things on the floor. I don't recommend it. I do not recommend it. If you are like in this settlement specifically, I try to do my best to pick up items that I do see on the floor and put them in a chest. We need more chests. But if you have something that you're like, oh shoot, I don't know where that went, check chests. Oh yes, that is a good point. Let's do I have in my inventory right now? Oh yeah, that's fine. So if I shift V, I'm going to bring out my cart. So I have my cart. I do, again, shift right click. Our best friend, shift right click. View storage. Or I could have hit I. So let's do that. If I hit I, it also pops up, but sometimes it's finicky, so I like doing the / right click. Let's put in this jackal fur. Okay. So jackal fur is currently in the wagon. It shows, if you look at the wagon itself, an item showed up, shows that there's something in the wagon. So let's close this and say I'm not paying attention, or I want to do it on purpose because you can transfer items this way. If I shift right click and I do collect item to vault or collect wagon to vault, it'll tell you, hey, there's stuff deployable and you want to, you know, store it before you do it. You can click yes and it'll start to store it. And then the item that was in your wagon is now on the floor. Item could not fit in your inventory, so it's now on the floor. So that is a way that you can accidentally lose items. And then it'll be yours for 5 minutes, as always, and then it'll turn public after that 5 minutes for an hour. So be careful if you have a bunch of stuff in a cart, and also if you recover. Here, I'll do that really quick. Are there like private storages in settlements? The banks are private storages, and your personal cache are private storages. So no one can access them but yourself. And we have 3 banks. They're all different. Okay, my wagon is here, and we're just gonna start walking this way. We're gonna leave my wagon in town, and we're just gonna kind of see who these 2 people are. We're gonna hang out for just a second. Who are these 2 people? Oh, they're different people. So we have random people hanging out. So say I see that Tevis is doing this log. My cart is in town. And I'm like, man, I wish I had my cart. You can get your cart, your wagon, by right-clicking and hit recover. This does take 30 seconds to do. So I'm recovering my cart. And at this point, if there was any items in my cart, they would drop on the ground. So keep that in mind. Be very cautious about what you're keeping in your cart. Or make sure you're dumping items, making sure that you're not accidentally losing stuff, because that is the one way to lose stuff. There's also no destroy item function in the game, unfortunately. There is no destroy item function in the game, so you kind of just have to leave it sit somewhere and wait for it to despawn. So it was no longer grayed out. It's now showed up back in my vault. I can either right click or left click or shift V, whichever one you prefer. And my cart is now here. My wagon, rather, is now here. So yeah, it's nice and easy to recover your items. You don't ever permanently lose something unless it is left on the wayside for far too long. But yeah. Yay! So you can also see items that you can harvest by mousing over them, and they'll be green. Here, let me show, because this is actually a really, really good one. So my wagon is back here. If I go up here, let's turn around, and I click this, my wagon does not highlight. It is not highlighting in green. So this item and the wagon, so see how it highlights in green. But if I'm here and I want to harvest this, my wagon is in distance to pick up that item. So always keep your wagon close by if you're harvesting something, especially cargo. It will go straight to your wagon. If it's too far away, it'll just drop on the ground. But yeah, it will show you by highlighting what items will go to your cargo, or what items will go to your wagon or cart, which is also super, super, super helpful. Because when we go back to town, here's a little trick that we currently use here at the hearth. It's not really a trick. It's part of the game mechanics. It is based on the function that I literally have just demonstrated. My wagon doesn't fit through here. Oh yeah, it does. Okay. Let's exit the wagon. So, based on what we just said, I have my personal cache, which is something that I can access. I right-clicked on it. My character didn't move to it. It's accessible in a range. So, based on that range, if you see the layout of our base, if I mouse over, it can go to my cart or my personal cache. So, I can currently use and pull items from this here to a table. So essentially you can use it as like just your personal storage if you'd like, and if you're bulk crafting, you can put all the bulk stuff, because this actually, the items in here, for example, that goes to 50 in my inventory, but stacks much higher in here. So you can like load up your personal cache and do the crafting tables. So this is why we have this set up the way we do, is so that everything can access to the personal cache. So yeah. How do I put down a personal cache? So first and foremost, you would have to go to Roomba. Okay. So first we have to go to Roomba. And we will go to trade. He has in his trades, it might not be here because I already own it. Here we go. You would have to buy the personal cache deed. All it takes is one rough brick. So it's very easy to get this, but you need to have level 5, I think. It's either 5 or 10. I think it's 5, to unlock the personal cache. And then you can upgrade it to tier 2, tier 4, stuff like that. Mine is currently the tier 2, so the trick that I did earlier with the deed. So once it was in my vault, I would then right click, put it into a deed, and then I'd have to trade it back to Roomba, and he would give me the expanded personal cache. So yeah, that's where you get the personal cache from. This is also the writ of the settlement. So if you're just starting out and you are looking to make a settlement, you need 5 of these beginner codexes. Like I said earlier, they do take forever to make. They take a lot of items. It took us about 6 hours the first time. If you use websites to help with the recipes, it goes by a lot faster. Trade stands, you can have a personal trade stand. Instead of the big marketplace, you can have your own little stall. These materials that you see that are in the 10s and 100s are meant for higher tier crafting. Tier 3 requires some of these items to do crafts. So if I'm processing wood, it requires the sandpaper, which is only 2 gold. So it's not, the price isn't too bad. The writ of trade. So this is the town market for your settlement. To get these NPCs in your settlement, you would have to look for the business voucher. This is 2,500, and that's per NPC. So, I think you also have to have level 10 in that skill. So once I get level 10 with Roomba, I would then get his business voucher and then put it in the settlement. The training. So a lot of things in this game actually have, like, you have to train first and then you can get the item. So originally, I think the personal cache, the personal cache had like a something that you'd have to learn before you could get the personal cache itself. Writ of banking, these are 1,000. They're so cheap and they give you more banks. So technically you could have infinite storage. It's so nice. Oh, nice. Level 20 with means you get a goat mount now. No, this is actually, oh, wait. Trade. So I get the deer this time. So the goat is level 10. Deer is level 20. And it costs a lot. It does cost a lot. I need a 10k. I am not 10k. Sigh. Okay. We need to do more quests really quick, and then I'll buy the deer training, and then I'll go do more quests. Deer riding training. Make sure I click the right training. Yes. This says deer. Yes. Trade. Okay. They also have owl eggs, which is where you get it, and it's a gamba, because it changes, like, does it show you which one the obtain use? Oh, here. So it shows you the different owls and what color they are. And so there's a mythic owl that's all white. There's a legendary owl that's all black. You have uncommon, common. Or uncommon, common. The gray owl is the common. This is the one I have, which is uncommon. Pink, which is rare. Purple, which is rare. And then red, which is epic. So yeah, it randomizes which one, and it costs 1,000. And so I really want more owls. I want to collect all the owls. You can put them on the auction house, but I would just give them away to people. The outfit I'm currently wearing, I think is the carpentry one. We can go to Y. I think it's the carpentry one. Yeah, it's the carpentry one. So the one I really want is the scholar, because it's all purple and pretty. And then the level 60 is super cool. So it's cute that we get little outfits. The fish, like I said, the fishing one was eh. This one looks to me a little bit better, but getting 60 in fishing is gonna take a bit longer. The other one that I liked was tailoring, but I think you're bare chesting it, which is funny. So you can also mix and match. So each one of these pieces, you can just mix and match based on what you want. Also, if you like pink, like Cow does, you can get a pink one. And then even more pink. So yeah. Very pink. Okay. We're getting our mount. We're getting our first mount. Yay! Trade. Rideable deer. Trade. Yay, we got the rideable deer. Woot! Deploys. It has one cargo slot.
Yeah, one cargo slot and it's actually 3.
Set default. Let's get out and let's go check out our new mount. Check out the new mount. So, Shift V to deploy our favorite. Aw, look how cute he is. He looks very floofy. And he looks more like a reindeer than a normal deer. But he's still a deer. Looky! It's a mount. He's so cute. He is so cute. And then view storage. Okay, so yeah, you're right. It stacks to 3, but it's only 1. So you can bring back a couple of things.
4 things.
4 things, because you have yours and then the 3. But yeah, it floats.
Yeah, Goat only walked in the demo, so I skipped it.
It-
Runs now.
Yeah, it floats. It doesn't have the oomph. It doesn't feel like. Yeah, that's fine. But it's faster. Hover deer of the future. It's true. It's the hover deer.